Good morning, everyone. This is Bremster, and today I'm coming to you with a sequel puzzle. This is a number 2 in a series. Will there be a number 3? Only time and the setter, Derektionary, will tell us eventually, maybe. So this is Look and Say Killer number 2. Back on the 13th of January this year, I did a puzzle called Look and Say Killer on my channel. And this is the sequel to that puzzle. This is a very weird rule set, and I remember at the time, both myself and a bunch of people in the comments turned around and said, more of these, please. Derektionary has done one more of these. Thank you. So I will go into the puzzle in a minute. Before we start, I do want to say that at the end of this video, I am planning on doing an insert of all of the people who completed Save the Galaxy. At time of recording, that has not been completed yet, so I do not have all of those names. So it will have to be an insert at the end. So wait till the end of the video. I will put chapter markers below so you can jump straight to that if you're interested. But yes, that will be at the end of the video. The other thing I wish to mention is this happened over a week ago now, but I've not wanted to put too much in and Save the Galaxy is going to be the thing, is that Ranks on his channel solved one of my puzzles called Four Leaf. Now, normally I do video solves of my own puzzles, but Ranks' solve of Four Leaf was quite a good video. I really enjoyed it. So I'm not going to bother doing a solve video of that puzzle, I don't think. What I'm instead going to do is for a few days, I'm going to point people to Ranks' video. I will put a link above where you can see him solving Four Leaf. He struggles with it a little bit. It is quite a tricky little puzzle, but it is a good fun, and you should go and watch Ranks' videos anyway. They are always good fun. Ranks is a fun solver and a great person on YouTube to watch. So, with all of that out of the way, let's talk about Look and Say Killer number 2. So, the way this puzzle works is these are not normal killer cages. I can't get 5 cells summing to 2,412. I can't do it. So normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Then we have the Look and Say rules. And the way that works is within cages and along the diagonals, digits may repeat. And that's kind of important because what you do is you say the number in the cage. And what that is it tells us what you can put in the cage. And in fact, or on the diagonal. And not only that, what you must put in the cage or the diagonal. So for example, along this diagonal, you must put 1, 1. Along this diagonal, you must put 3 3s. Along this diagonal, you must put 3 8s. Along this diagonal, you must put 2 8s. In this box, you must put 3 3s. In this box, you must put 2 4s and 1 2. In this box, you must put 2 5s. That is how this works. So you say the clue out loud, and it is telling you what you must put into those constraint, what the constraint is pointing to or indicating. The first one was amazing fun, and it was approachable. The feedback both in the comments and from everyone who tested it, as far as I'm aware, was it was a good fun little puzzle. I can't remember how long my video was. I do not know how hard this one is. I do not know if it's a step up in difficulty. It is time for us to find out together. Let's give this a shot. Well, hooray for technical difficulties. So I'm just going to start this puzzle again. I wasn't too far into it when, so let's just do this again. So let's give this a shot. There are some tricks I remember from both attempts at this puzzle, both when I solved the first one about 6 weeks ago and a few minutes ago when I first started this one, but yeah. So if we look at cages like this one, where we have to put 2 5s into the cage, remember 2 5 is 2 5s, we're only in 2 boxes, so yeah, we've got to put 2 5s. So we've got to put 5s in here, then we have to put a 5 here, which knocks the 5 out of here and puts a 5 into here. And I'm hoping we can just jump around these cages and do that a few places. Here we go, 2 7s. So we've got to put 7 in there, which means we put 7 in there, which means we have to put a 7 in there. 3 3s into this, so again we're in 3 boxes, so those are 3s and we put 3s into there. We've got to put a 6 and a 7 into there, but that's not that helpful yet. I assume it will be at some point. 2 4s and 1 2, so there has to be a 4 in here, which knocks 4 out of there and puts 4 into there. That's kind of useful. This cage, we need to put two 1s and 2 2s into this cage. Okay. So we've got 3 boxes to play with, but we can only put 1 1 and 1 2 into this row. So if we put a 1 in here, the other one would have to go in one of those. And if we put a 2 in here, the other 2 would have to go into one of those. So these have to be a 1 2. And even though numbers can repeat, they have to be different, because if they're the same, then you would have to put either 2 1s or 2 2s in here. So these are a 1 2 pair and are different. Okay. And there must be a 1 or a 2 in here. 1 and a 2 in here. Okay. So that gives me the 1 2 3 4 5. So these are from 6 7 8 9. Can't put a 7 there. Can't put a 7 there. Hang on, I can't put a 7 in any of those. Can't put a 7 there because 7 is in here to fill this cage. Can't put a 7 there. So this is a 7. Okay. And I've got to put a 2 in here. Okay. So let's look at the, excuse me. Let's look at the, I'm not going to say little killer clues, but these diagonal clues. We need to put a 1 into one of those 3 cells. We need to put 3 3s down here, which means we've already got one of them, but there needs to be 3 in here, because this only points at 3 boxes because it's on the main diagonal. So we've got the 3 in this box. There'll be a 3 in one of those 3 cells, and there'll be a 3 in one of those 2 cells because we've already got the 3 in row 7. Similar here with 2 9s. There must be a 9 in here and a 9 in here. There can only be 1 9 down here. So if that's a 9, that will force 9 off those 3 cells. There's 2 8s up here. I've got to put a 2 in here. Okay. Okay, this 1 3 is interesting, I think. Because it means 3 is in one of those. Ooh, 3's in box 8. 3 can't be here because of that 3. So 3 is down here, which forces 3 up here. But that still leaves 1 cell on that diagonal. 3 is on there. So I've got those cells for 3s. Is there anything else putting pressure on 3s? Yes, of course there is. That's not a 3. These two aren't 3s. They can't, because the 3's in this cage. This is a 3. That's putting much more pressure on this, because this can't be a 3 because of that 3. That can't be a 3 is in one of those two spots. And in this cage, 3 is now in 2 spots there. 3 is still restricted to those, and those. Is that a useful pattern? I don't think so. And there's no other 3 clues. I mean, I say there's no other. There's the 3-3 cage, there's the 3-3 diagonal, and the 1-3 diagonal, which have gotten me to this point. So this cage is incredibly interesting because I have to put a 1 and a 2 in here, and these have to be different. So hang on. That needs to have 3 1s on it. Well, that can't be a 1, because if I put a 1 in here, these are different. One of these is 1, one of these is 2. So one of these is a 1, so it's going to see that cell. So that cannot be a 1. So now I've got to put 3 1s in 4 boxes on this diagonal. And I've got to put another 1 in here. And these, if this is a 1, these are knocked out, and I have to put 1 in those 3 cells. If this is a 1, this is knocked out, and I have to put 1 in those 2 cells and one of those. Either way, those are 1s. And now I've only got 1. I've got to put 1 1 into one of these, which is going to force this. I've got to put a 2 in here. Does that interact with this in any way? Let me mark. So let's use purple. I have to put a 2 in here. What other 2 clues do we have? That's 1, 2. There's 2 1 2s up here. Let's mark this diagonal. And there's also this box. Whoa, there's a lot happening with 1s and 2s. That's 3s, that's 1s, 9s, 8s, 7s. The 4s are in there. I've got that 5s, 3s, 7s. I've got the ones up there. I don't think they come into play for this. Well, there's no 1 there. Wait, that's a 1. That 1 looks up. That's not a 1. This is a 1. Okay. So that does not interact with the green or the yellow. Okay, cool. But it does force 1 up there and into those 2 slots and into one of those. I'm going to pencil mark that, though I'm not ridiculously comfortable with it. What is going on? So I need to put a 2 into this cage. So I can't put a 2 there, because if I put a 2 there, I can't put a 2 into this cage, and that is complete and utter busted. So there is a 2 in this cage. If there is a 2 on these 2 cells, it knocks a 2 out of all of those. If there is a 2 in here, then I can have a 2 down here. So, actually, I'm much more interested in this because I think the trick is going to be with 1s because of the combination of having to put a 1 into one of those cells. I'm going to get rid of these green marks. 1 goes in one of those green cells, but I also have to put 1 in one of those cells. This is tricky. So what's happening in here? I need to put a 1 and a 2 in. If this is a 1, this is a 1, because this knocks 1 out of those. This becomes a 1. This is a 1. This is a 1. This can never be a 1. So 1 is in one of those 2. Because if this is a 1, this is a 1 to get the green, and I can't put a 1 here. If this is a 1, I can't put a 1 here because it's in the same column. So either way, this is not a 1. Okay. Is there a similar trick with 2s? Like, is 2 restricted to these cells and I can make this a 1-2 pair or something? Would that even help me? So, how do I... So one... This is a 2, this is a 1, and this is a 1, and this is a 2. Okay. If this is... Hang on, if this is a 2, 1, 1, 2, there must be a 2 in here. This is the 2, 1, this becomes 1. Can I ever put a 2 there? If this is a 2, this is a 1. Oh, that could be a 2. 2, 1, 2, because it doesn't have the same restriction here. But if this is the 2, this is a 1, I think the important thing to note either 2 there or if... Sorry, this is a bit weird. I put a 2 here, which will take 2 out of those 3. So this wouldn't be, I could, and I still need to put a 2 in this cage. If this is a 1, this becomes a 2. That 1 forces the 1 into there. I've got a 2 here, so I can't put a 2 there. There's a 2 here, which puts the 2 in this column, which takes 2 out of all of those. Whether this is a 1 or a 2, that's a 2. And that takes 2 out of those and means that none of these blue cells can be 2, which means this is not a 2 anymore. 2 is in one of those. What does that mean? Well, it means the 2's have to be in here. I can't put a 2 there anymore. So 2 is in one of those. If this is the 1, 2, then this... So I can't put a 2 there anymore. Could I ever? This is freaky. This is freaky. I'm really not sure what I'm supposed to be looking at now. So one of these has to be 2's. So 2 is either here and here or here and here, and I've got 2 in here. There is something very strange going on. So if this is 1, this is 2, this is 1. I'm still back at this. Two is in here, 2 is in here. Which means 2 is in here in this. 2 is in here in this box. Because 2 is in here, 2 can't go here. I can't have 2 2's in here, and I can't have a 2 here. There must be a 2 in this domino, which means this is not the 2 in this cage. The 2 is not here because I can't put it on this diagonal. This is a 2, which makes this a 4, makes this a 1, makes this a 2. This is not a 2, this is a 1, and the only place left for the second 2 is there. And that resolves that. I can no longer make those 1. This is a 1. And this is a 6, 8, or 9, which does not deserve to be yellow. It loses its yellowdom. Now, these still can't be 2. I'm going to note that by just doing that, which is horrible pencil marking, but I'm going to live with it. Now, I have all 3 1s on green. In fact, the 1s are done because I've put the 1 off the diagonal. So that is done. 2's right. 2 has to be down. No, I've got the 2 in this box. 2 in this box. These cages are breaking my brain. 2 is now in one of those 2. Could I do more with twos? Yes, I can. Those two twos knock out those two twos. Two Tuesday was earlier this week. That comes out and puts two there. So now two is, I'm not sure, up here. Ones. Is there more happening with ones? Well, that's not a one anymore. I've got my two fours and my 1, 2. I've got my 1, 2 on this line. That's now completely done. I've got my 3 1s. I've got my 1, 3, 2 9s still to be sorted. 2 7s is sort of done. Hang on, I missed this one at the beginning. There's got to be a 4 in one of those two to fulfill the 2 4 clue because it's only 2 boxes. That right there is a 4. And then I have to put a 4 right there. I missed that at the beginning. I possibly didn't have all of those digits to make that work though. But now that I've got these 4s, that's a 4. This is a 1. That's possibly been there since the beginning. That 1 now makes those 1s. 2 is in there. 2 is in there, and 2 is in there, and 2 is over here. That does not look like a confluence of digits that is helping me. That was a nasty little trick. It's pretty, but nasty. So, Sudoku maybe? Please? So this is a quad. 4, 6, 8, and 9. That's not a 4. That is not helpful. Hmm. I need to put a 6 and a 7 in there, but I'm not seeing any other pressures on 6s and 7s. So what else is heavily constrained? Or am I just missing Sudoku? Am I just missing? Well, there's a 4 in one of those two. 4 in one of those 3. Yeah, 4 in one of those 3. I've got my 2 4s. See, I've got this 3 8s, but this is touching one. How many? Let me visualize that. That's touching 1, 2, 3, 5 boxes. And I've got no information on 8s. Like, all of this is wide open. This is a 7 clue, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 2, 1, 6, 1, 7, 5. I mean, there's another 8 clue. So 3 eights and 2 eights combined. 5 eights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes. These highlighted cells have to take 5 eighths. They don't cross over, so they won't share an 8. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes, but box 5 and box 6, those see each other. So I can use box 5 or box 6. So these boxes in the highlighted cells must take 8s in the highlighted cells. Those must be 8. That's nuts! This 2 8 clue forces those to be 8s. I don't know whether to applaud or cry. So I can only put one more 8 in green, and then I've got to get 2 more 8s in... I've got to get 2 8s in blue. Well, that can't be 8. If I put 8 there, I knock out all 3 of those, and then I've got to put 2 8s in that cell. I mean, I could do that, but that doesn't actually count as a solution. So that's not green. Yeah, it's not an 8. So now I've got to get 2 8s into here, while still getting 1 8 into here. So the question is, can I not put an 8 into those two? Because that would provide the most constraint. So I'm just hypothesizing, what if there's no 8 in this cage? That would be an 8, that would be an 8. And then I can't put another 8 on green. So this is 6, 7, 8. And now I've got one more 8 to place here. Is there a way of figuring out which? Well, I can do some Sudoku. I mean, is that why we're here? I've got 2 5s looking up into box 3. That's a 5. I mean, seems a bit silly to be doing Sudoku at this point. Why do I have 3s pencil marked in here? Oh, because of those 3s here. This is a triple. What is it? 3, 5, and 8. That's not a 3. This is a triple. 2, 4, and 9. Well, that's not 4. There is something going on. This is way trickier than the first one. I'll tell you that for nothing. I'll tell you that for watching this video, because you've gotten this far and you've already watched this video. I am distracting myself because, wow. 7, no. There is something I am not paying enough attention to. And I can't see what it is. Of course, the standard rule of what do you already have highlighted counts. 4 has to go there. I can take 4 out of there and put 4 in here. Which puts 4 down here. There's a 2 right there looking up, making that a 9, which takes 9 out of there. Takes 9 out of there. This becomes a 2-4 pair. That's not a 2, that's a 4, that's a 2, which takes a 2 out of there, puts a 2 into there, stealing one of the spots of my 8s. I need to put 2 8s in here. Well, I can't put 2 8s in there, apart from the silly thing I did earlier. That's an 8, that's a 1, this is not an 8, bye-bye greenness, and 8 must go into one of those two to get my third 8. And I think I've got the colouring now. So I boom the colouring away. 8s are now here and here in boxes 2 and 7. 8s must go down here and I can't go there because of looking 8s. That is an 8. 8 must go up here now in box 1 because of 8s here and here. Well, actually, this is just a triple, but I know that's an 8 because of the 8s looking up. These are 6 and 7. Currently unresolved 6 and 7. There's a low digit I'm missing. There must be a 2 in here because I can see 6, 7, 8, 9, but I don't have a 2 in this column yet. That's a 2. This is 6, 7, 8, or 9, so it's 6, 7, or 9. This puzzle. That's not an 8. Why did I ever put an 8 into that cell? Because the 8 had to go onto there. I'm going to mark this quadruple. 3, 6, 7, and 9, and I can't put a 3 at the top. I can't put a 9 into any of those. Those are not 9s. That is a 9. This is a 3, 6, 7. That becomes the 8. This is not the 8. This is a 6, 7 pair. I take that's an 8. I take the 8 out of there. Sudoku to the rescue. 6, 9. 9 comes out of there. That 8 knocks the 8 out of there and gives me my final 8 here. Which turns around and makes that a 5, and those are not 5. That 8 makes that a 3, and that an 8. Scanning will help me at this point. I'm doomed, I tell you. 5, 6, 7, and 9 for the column. Speaking of doom, well, that's not a 9 because 9 has to go in one of those two because of the 2, 9 diagonal. This is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. There's no 9 there. 3, 4, 6, and 7. I am missing something. That 3 puts a 3 right there. That is not a 3. So this is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 9. It is happening again. I think knowing which clue to look at is a real trick. Like, I feel like I'm falling into complete candidate pencil marking here, but I've got my 6 and my 7. I've got my 3 threes. Okay, this row. 5, 6, 7, and 9. That's not a 7 because the 7 has to go in here to fulfill the 2 7s. This is tricky. Oh, twonk knuckle. So 5, 6, and 9. I still can put a 3 there, I think, to give me the 3 in the row. So I've got all the ones. That 2 are looking over, making that a 2. 3s. Actually, there's some options on 3s. 4. Is in those. This is not a great way to be solving to demonstrate good technique, but I'm a little bit flummoxed. 5s? This is a quad. 3, 4, 5, and 9. There's no 3 in those. Well, this is something. That's not a 9. Because either that or that has to be a 9 to fulfill this 1 9 clue. So if I put a 9 there, I knock 9 out of both of those, and this 1 9 would be not valid. Does that help me? There's got to be one of these look and say clues I've missed. Here we go. There is a 9 in one of those two. There is a 9 in one of those two. This cannot be a 9 because the 9's in, and this cannot be a 9. And now I can ask myself, that's a 9. Where does 9 go in this column? Because I've got the 6, 7 pair. This is a 6, 7 pair. This becomes a 5. This is not a 5. This is not a 5. This is a 6, 7 pair. So this, in this row, this is now the only place for a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 5. This is not a 9. I now need to put a 9 on this diagonal, and I took that one out. So this is the 9. This is the 6. This is the 7. This is the 9, which gives me the 2 9s I needed on that diagonal. That was... in this row now, I've got to put a 5. It can only go there because I can't put it in either of those two. So that's a 5. This is a 6. I could have got that by just doing Sudoku in the box. There's all sorts of stuff that I have not done now. So this is not a 5. It's also not a 4. This is a 3 or a 9. So this would be a 3 or a 9. Let me just confirm because I often get that wrong. That looks correct. And there's a 9 looking at it. That is the 3. So this is the 3. This is the 9. I take 9 out of both of those. This is a 4, 5. So this becomes a 6. This becomes a 7. This becomes a 6. This becomes a 7. This 5 makes this a 4 and this a 5. That takes 4 out of there, which puts 4 into there. There is a 9 looking down at that, making that a 6. This becomes a 5, 7, 9. There is no 9 there. There's no 5 there. This is the 7. This is a 5, 9. That's the 9. That's the 5. The 6, 7 does not help with this, but this also has to be... because this now sees 3 or 4. So this is the 3. This is the 4. This is not 3 or 4. These are 6 and 7. Is that correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there is a 6 right there. This is the 7. This is the 6. This is a 6. This is a 7. The 7 looks over, making that a 3 and that a 7. And the 9 looks over, making that a 6 and that a 9. And that is Look and Say Killer number 2 by Derektionary. Wow. That was intense. That is a step up in difficulty from the first one by quite a lot. I do not blame anyone for struggling on that one. That was hard. I would really like to see more puzzles in this rule set. Maybe somewhere between the first one and the second one, because I really find this rule set fun, but that puzzle was mind-bending. And while I don't mind mind-bending puzzles, I really like ones I can just sort of coast through and my viewers come back to me and go, you know what, that was fun. This one, I think a lot of people are going to say, I needed help. And there's nothing wrong with hard puzzles. I like hard puzzles too. But wow, that was a challenge. That trick with this cage right here and figuring out just, I mean, the interaction of all of these, not that one, these clues, the 3, 1, the 1, 2, and the 1, 2, that's nuts. Balancing 4 clues off each other like that is beautiful, but very hard to spot. Yeah, wow. Great puzzle. Very puzzling. Meets the definition. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you Derektionary for doing another one of these. I look forward to number 3, I think. No, I do. I really do. And thank you everyone for watching. And as always, good luck with your solving. And remember, there will hopefully be name readout from another Bremster who's going to record this in a few days. Thanks everyone. Hello everyone, and now it's time to pass on the awards to those people who went out of their way to save the galaxy and put themselves at risk to face down all of those horrible anomalies. First of all, we need to of course, celebrate the one galactic overlord, the person who completed the adventure first, found the hidden puzzle, and decided to rule the galaxy. J40, congratulations. Completed it very, very quickly, found the hidden puzzle, got it all in within the first 7 hours. Congratulations. The other galactic commanders who managed to find the hidden puzzle were Worm, Panthera, Scott Bathurst, and Ewan. Congratulations, leaders. Then there are the saviors of the galaxy, the people who managed to complete the puzzle adventure. There were 2 people in this list who didn't complete the entire adventure, but only 2 people didn't complete the entire thing, and I've read their stories that they got most of the way, or they got enough puzzles, or they struggled through as far as they could, and I think they deserve full credit having seen it, so I'm going to give them full credit. So the following people are the saviors of the galaxy: Kim J, Rodrigo Mahu, Ambrose, Joe Chang, Carl Morton Luna, Pankari Gavila, Madeline Dye, Crusader 175, Mark Weisner, Andreas Bekezka, I'm sorry about that one, James Levin, Jeff Thomas, Ian Randall, Jack Welsh, Mark Henkel, Albertol, Awesome Source 21, Charles Vogler, Guyan 1010, Steve Parkhurst. Also, Nathan Quinn, Shannon Lizelle, Johannes Simon, Brian Boyd, Steve West, Harrison Lee, Matthew Noteboom, Mudit Mittal, Harris Mirza, Christy Klingert, Maddie W, Mustang, No Math Dork, Ava Hales, John Watley, Nijant Agawal, Tim Matthews, Andrew Montaloni, Dragonoid Rules, Mule Creek, and Dean Gurgott. Those are the people who submitted successful answers to the Save the Galaxy puzzle adventure. The puzzles still exist, even though the adventure has finished. There's actually a couple of people who submitted answers afterwards. Thank you. Please keep solving if you haven't completed it, or if you wish help, please jump onto the Discord and continue. But to those people, all of our thanks. Congratulations.